Today we'll be taking a look at Hellblade, Senua's sacrifice on the Potato Masher Pro. In case you don't know, the Potato Masher Pro is a side series to the main Potato Masher where I take a GTX 1060 and toss it in the Potato Masher to compare it against the PS4 Pro. The goal isn't to pick on the PS4 Pro, but to show you what type of high-resolution gaming experience you can have with a budget PC. Links are in the description if you want more information, and let's get to it. If you haven't seen the regular Potato Masher take on the PS4 yet, I highly suggest watching that video. It'll fill in more information that I probably won't cover twice. Also, a quick apology about the added time on production for this video. I've had the regular Masher video finished for about a week and a half, but this is the first video for my gaming channel that I edited entirely in Premiere. Vegas has always been faster for my workflow for comparison videos, but I'm getting tired of stability issues and slow render times, so I'm going to see if I can replicate what I need with Premiere, because I've used that for all my professional stuff for years and I do like it. So the PS4 Pro version of Hellblade is somewhat rare in that it has two frame rate modes to choose from. Let's start with the 30 FPS mode. It's not an actual locked 30 FPS unfortunately, because like the regular PS4 version, Ninja Theory has decided to let the frame rate vary between 30 and about 45 FPS. Without variable refresh rate syncing, that's generally a pretty bad idea if you like smooth gameplay. The resolution is dynamic, but it can range up to about 1440p on both 4K and 1080p screens. So that's a nice super sampling bump for 1080p screens, and it's a bit soft for native 4K screens. It's also pretty typical for PS4 Pro games that feature resolution scaling, and most of them don't look nearly as good as Hellblade. The Masher Pro runs Hellblade at 1440p, very high settings, and locked at 30 FPS. I decided to not let the frame rate vary, even though that would technically match the PS4 Pro because of the added judder and stuttering. The Masher Pro has noticeably better detail and is a little sharper than the PS4 Pro version of the game. But because of the chromatic aberration effect, the difference isn't as great as you might think, but it's there. The Masher Pro also has ambient occlusion, and the PS4 Pro doesn't appear to. The PS4 Pro version of the game appears to be identical to the PS4 version of the game in the 30 FPS mode, only with dynamically higher resolution. If you saw the regular Masher's video, you already know that the PS4 and Masher look pretty similar as well. However, the PS4 Pro offers up a high frame rate mode, so how does the Masher Pro compete? Really well, as it turns out. So to achieve 60 FPS in most situations, the PS4 Pro drops resolution below 1080p pretty often. I'm not sure exactly what resolution it's running at, but it looks like 900p or so. Because of the other post-processing effects, the overall presentation on the PS4 Pro is still very pretty, but it is very soft. By comparison, the Masher Pro manages 1080p at very high settings and 60 FPS. Both the PS4 Pro and Masher Pro have a few frame rate drops from time to time, but not more than a few FPS. I didn't turn the settings down on the Masher Pro to compensate because if I didn't have a frame rate counter running, I probably wouldn't really notice, and the same's true for the PS4 Pro. But that's about where the comparisons end. While both platforms are running similar graphical settings, the game is significantly sharper on the Masher Pro. Going back to 1440p, by knocking the settings down to low, the Masher Pro is able to keep a fairly consistent 60 FPS there as well. You lose some of the beautiful graphical settings, but the art direction still shines, and I'm not complaining about the chromatic aberration going away. Some of the visual intensity that the game ramps up during combat and other pivotal moments does rely on post-processing effects, but without showing any sections with spoilers, I think that the overall experience is still great at low settings. So that covers 1080p and 1440p. What about 4K? At medium settings, native 4K resolution, and locked at 30 FPS, the Masher Pro looks great. You're probably tired of me mentioning the post-processing at this point, but reducing that while greatly increasing resolution really shows you how detailed and intricate Senua's character model is. Most of the game world reeks of decay and a muted color palette, but the parts that break the mold really shine in 4K. I did see a couple frame rate drops while in fiery sections like I'm showing you here, but those aren't very long and I didn't see anything anywhere else, so I'd stick to these settings at 4K. The Masher Pro only has a 1060, but it's perfectly capable of real 4K gaming even if it's a more entry-level high-resolution experience. Technical wrap-up first. The Masher Pro is superior to the PS4 Pro in both frame rate modes and in all the objective comparisons. It absolutely offers the better experience in this game from 1440p and 60 FPS to native 4K. However, this game is incredible and you should play it on whichever platform you have available. It's incredibly morbid and unsettling at times, and it takes an unflinching but still surrealistic look at the protagonist's declining mental health. Instead of using this as a minor plot point to humanize a fictional character, Hellblade makes this a pivotal point of the story. Rather than using this to show Senua's weakness, it shows her resilience and unwavering strength in the face of certain death and the god's wrath. This is probably my favorite game this year, no exaggeration. So my comparisons are to help people make informed decisions about whichever gaming platform best suits their needs on a budget, but even if you can only play this game at the lowest settings in 720p, I still recommend it. If you can choose the Masher Pro. Go watch the Potato Masher take on Hellblade if you haven't seen that video yet. If you enjoyed this video, consider supporting this channel and the Potato Masher project by tossing me a few bucks on Patreon or hit the like button. Thank you for your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.